Hi, everyone. Welcome to Sudbury Interviews. Today we have Chad Rivette, a singer songwriter, country music superstar in the making, and also the host of Trevi Karaoke. That's every Friday and Saturday night for a long time now. Before we begin, you can find us on Sudstown and join the conversation. Hey, Chad, how you doing?
Good, you?
Really good. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks
Appreciate
for
it.
having me.
So, how long has the karaoke been going on for? At
I've been doing it for 32 years this year, and I've been at the Trevi's going on almost 17.
Did you ever miss a weekend?
Nope. No, actually, I say no. I've missed 2 weekends. I had some heart attacks, but I never missed the booking. I had my bookings covered there, but I wasn't
Yeah.
physically there. But other than those 2 times, I have
Wow.
never missed a Friday and Saturday for almost 32 years now.
That's extraordinary. Really, really cool.
Thank you.
So let's go to the beginning. Take us through the story of your musical journey from the beginning.
I was around 7 years old, and my dad was in a band, and they came up with records, and they were touring everywhere, and used to watch my dad play, and I just was just in awe watching him. And he bought this new guitar when I was 7 years old, and he put it under the bed, and he told me, he's like, make sure you don't touch that. So every time, of course, I'm a kid. Every time he left the house, first thing I did was pull that guitar out and start playing with it, just strumming it. And so I taught myself how to play it within like 6 months. And my dad came home and he was going to take a shower fast and he had to do another show. And I knew that when the shower went off that he was getting out of the shower. So I went and grabbed the guitar and I was playing one of his songs that him and his band had wrote. And he heard me playing it. So he called me over to the washroom and he shut the curtain of the bathtub. And he's like, were you just playing the guitar? I'm like, no. He's like, don't lie to me. And I was like, I'm not. He's like, you tell me the truth. So I told him, yeah, I was playing it. So he's like, go get it. So I went and got it, and he's like, "What song were you playing?" So I started playing. He's like, "Who taught you how to play that?" I'm like, "Me." I just put my fingers in different places, and it sounded like what it sounded like, right? So he started laughing. He's like, "Well, I'm glad you grabbed that guitar because I put it under there, hoping that you would grab it." And I still
Really?
have that. Yeah, I still have that guitar to this day.
What kind of guitar is that?
It's a Saga.
Nice. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's great. What a
yeah,
story. So ever since then, you've been just
yeah. Just
going
playing.
at it.
I'm not an avid guitar player there. I'm more vocals, and just in the last couple of years, I got into writing my own stuff. But yeah, I'm learning more and more. I picked up my guitar more in the last probably 3 years than I have in 30, right?
So did you always know that you wanted to start writing, and it was sort of on the back burner for a while because you had to make a
Yeah, well,
living
I
or
knew I
whatever?
always wanted to, but I really believe that like a lot of songwriters have it at an early age, but in my case, I had to pretty much live the experiences before I put them on paper. That's where my stories come from. So
Yeah.
every time you hear a song, you can know that I lived some part of that song, right?
So how do you write a song? How does that happen?
The way I do it is I come up with the title first. Once I have a title, then
Oh wow.
lyrics just start going through my head, and then I put a melody down on guitar and the tempo and the way I want to do it, and then I have my producer Kerry Blackwell, which is just God sent. He just puts his magic on it, and it's amazing. It's amazing what he does. I'm blessed to have him in my life.
Kerry's a really talented guy. I was him and I appeared on a compilation album back in 2007. It was called Child Aid, and he had a fantastic song on that album.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
he's
he's
just
good.
amazing. He's amazing.
So, as far as like performing live, are you doing any of that aside from the
Oh,
karaoke?
yeah, oh yeah. I play all around town. I play with some musicians around town too. I've played with Falcon that you had on your, I think
Yeah.
that was your last interview that you had. I've played with him. I played with Natalie Crispo, Jordan Alone, Kerry Blackwell. List goes on and on. Different people in different bands, and I do duos and trio acts around town. I'm actually in the midst of just having a band started, so that'll be coming up shortly. But yeah, I just Sudbury's got a lot of unforeseen talent, and it's crazy the amount of talent in this town. And I have a pleasure of playing with everybody like yourself too.
Yeah, well, I can tell you one thing. I'm a horrible karaoke singer. It's
Well, the
true.
thing about it too, as a musician, like you see these musicians using tablets and stuff on stage, and
Yeah.
I'm so karaoke, I guess I don't even know, just being used to like the words have to be there. I don't use them three-quarters of the time, but if they're not there, then I start to panic. I'm karaoke dependent, I guess you could say.
Yeah. Well, you're a
Yeah,
total pro up there. I mean, I've been there many, many times over, to the Trevi on the weekends, and it's a hot spot. I mean, it's always busy, isn't it?
yeah, it is. Thank you.
Yeah. It's good that you do that. I mean, because people love singing and we need an outlet for that. I'm not any good at it at all. And that's the truth. I promise. I'm not just being humble. Terrible karaoke singer. So what's this thing about a pie eating contest? You won?
Oh, yeah, that was yesterday. I played at the Sudbury's Blueberry Festival. It was held at Red Oaks. So they asked me to be, they asked me to go into it with everybody. So there was a bunch of us. We had the MPP in there, some people from CTV, Sudbury Wolves, Deputy Mayor. It was fun. I gave it all. I gave it all I had, and I won. So
That's great.
yeah, the only part about it is I ate a pie in like a minute and a half, and then it was from 2 to 2:30. And then from quarter after 2 to 2:30, I had to set up because I was playing music there too from 2:30 to 4. So try doing that on a pie in your stomach. It was a challenge for sure. And then I left there at 4 o'clock, came home, took a shower, and then went to the Trevis from 10 to 2. So last night was an
Wow.
interesting night. I had a lot of pie in my belly.
That's so cool. Somebody I remember during the Corona times or the pandy, I call it the
Yep.
pandy. There was somebody that told me that you were feeding the street, like you had a barbecue on the street or something like that.
Yeah. That's when we had the downburst, when that tornado downburst hit Sudbury there.
Yeah.
That was in my neck of the woods. I lived up in Montrose area behind the Montrose Mall, and we got pounded there. Like I had 100 and some thousand dollars in damage done to my house. My
Oh
windows were
my
broken.
God. Sorry to hear that.
Yes, I had like I came home and I had tree branches on my couch on the third floor. Like
Whoa.
yeah, so that we didn't have electricity and everything. I think it was about 9 days that we were down for electricity and stuff. So I had a New Yorker sausage cart that I used to put out downtown here in Sudbury, and then I had it at the corner of LaSalle and Falconbridge for one summer. Anyways, I had that and I had canteens at the time too, because I had 3 canteens on the go in the city of Sudbury too. So I had a whole bunch of
Wow.
food and stock, and so everybody was had no electricity and stuff. So I just made barbecues at the end of my driveway at lunch hour, and then I did it again at dinner. And I just told all the neighbors, like, when you guys are hungry, I'll be cooking from this time to this time. And it
Wow.
was it was a beautiful thing because we all came together during that time, and we were cleaning each other's yards and go to the next yard, and just the neighborhood just came together, and everybody was in my. We had like probably 100 people, 150 people in my front lawn on chairs, just having beers, and I'm barbecuing
Wow.
and cooking all the food up before it goes to waste, right?
Right. Yeah. So yeah, that's really good for you to do that.
Oh yeah.
Excellent. So the headline here, to go back to the blueberry thing, it says performer Chad Rivette easily eats his way to
Yeah.
victory at the annual Sudbury Blueberry Festival
I joke with
celebrity
the
pie eating contest.
yeah, right? I joke with my friends. I'm like, you ever watch Stand By Me? That's my favorite show. I'm like the part where they're like, well, I forget what they call him, tub of lard or something like that, and then he drinks a thing of castor oil before the pie eating contest. I'm like, I would do that, but we're out of retirement home, so I better be nice, right? Lardass. That's what they called him, Lardass. So they were joking. We're all sitting in the room, all the contestants. There was, I think, 6 of us, and they're all joking, like, "Oh, I'm going to win. I'm going to. What makes you think you're going to win?" I'm like, "Well, you invited a 300-pound guy who likes dessert, so you guys have no chance."
Really, eh?
Yeah, and
Wow.
the one thing is, I don't like blueberries, so I don't mind eating blueberries, but I don't like blueberry pie. But I was like, "Yeah, I got this."
That's great.
Yeah,
Country singer claims blueberry pie victory. Wow. What a
can't
headline.
get any more country than that.
Nice. So, what was the last song that you were putting out some stuff last year, right? Some
Yeah,
originals?
yeah. I have throughout the year. I have one on the charts right now. It's at number one. That
Which
one
chart
was
is
Waste.
that?
Music Mafia Radio.
Wow, that's really cool. I didn't know
Yeah, so
that.
it's number one on the top 10 indie charts. It's number one on the top 20 country charts, and number one on the top 30 countdown. So I went number one. That'll be my 11th number one on
Wow.
U.S. radio. And then I have another one being released next week. It's called Poor Decisions, spelled Pour. So you're like drinking your decisions away in the bar, and pretty
Right.
cool concept. I'm anxious to get that one out. And then we got about 8 or 9 more coming out of studio, another 10 going into studio probably in a couple weeks to work on. And
10 more songs?
oh yeah, yeah, there's 9 more
Wow,
coming
you're
up
just
too
cranking
next
them
week.
out, eh?
Yeah,
That's
I
great.
try. I try to write. I tried to write at least 2 or 3 a week there. On one point, I was writing them like
Wow.
every day, but I got a day job too, and then playing 5, 6 nights a week on top of that when I get home. So
And you're
it's
doing
it's busy.
karaoke till 2 a.m.
That's right. On
Two
Friday,
nights a week.
Saturday.
That's crazy. You're a machine, Chad.
Right now, I'm doing around anywhere from 15 to 20 shows a month right now. But I tried. I was doing 9 shows a week for a long time. Then I had a heart attack, and then I went down to 5 nights a week. Had another heart attack. I actually had 3 of them, and then I was like, maybe I'll go down to like 3 or 4 nights a week. But it never ends up like that. You just keep going, right? Music's
Yeah, yeah.
medicine. That's what's going to cure me. So.
So what was there was a new article here, Canada's country music trailblazer, Chad Rivette. What was that about?
That's actually they wrote about my life, I guess, and I came across it, and I was just like, wow, like what a write up. And I actually reached out to him and thanked him, Rich, and he's actually also a performer, songwriter. He's going to be at the Atlanta ISA Awards in Atlanta, Georgia, August 21st, 22nd, 23rd. I'm a presenter at the awards this year at that awards show. So I'm presenting Female Artist of the Year, and then I'm also going to be performing with a gentleman that I'm writing with that lives in Key West, and another gentleman in California. We're actually doing a collab on a song right now, and he's performing at the pre-party. So I'm going to get up with a couple songs and perform with him. And yeah, so it was really, really nice write-up. He's also an ISA member. I won International Entertainer of the Year last year at the awards on my song I wrote for my mom, Fallback. That was the first
Hmm.
song I ever wrote 2 years ago. That was my first song, and I wrote that on the guitar that my dad told me not to touch 37 years
Hmm.
ago. Yeah,
So you have how many recorded, like released songs now?
I would say probably about 11 or 12 that are on like all the Spotify and Apple and all that
Yeah.
stuff.
And that's in
And
two
that,
years?
yeah,
That's good, man. That's really good.
and I got another say 5 right now that are ready to be released that are finished. And like I
Wow.
said, I think he's got 7 or 8 more coming next week that he's still working on.
Hmm.
So yeah, we just keep pumping and pumping. And one thing that we're really, really excited that work on is that Sudbury Performance Group actually hired Carrie and I to write the theme song to Sudbury Performance Group. So we have that done, and we've already had, I bet you there's 15 of us that have been through the studio already, just recording little parts and putting it all together. But Carrie and I wrote the Sudbury Performance Group anthem song, so that's going to be released pretty soon, and
Wow.
we're going to do a music video to that. And Mark and I are in the talks there, and we have some big plans going on for that. So we're anxious to release that too.
So is this a local studio, or is it out of
It's
town?
actually in Carrie's spare room. That's like it's crazy. Like if you've seen where we record, you would be like,
Hmm.
it's like because he sounds like Nashville quality his recordings, right? Like he's just a
Absolutely.
master of music. I
Yeah.
can't even explain it.
That's really obvious too when you listen to his stuff. I knew that right away with him,
Yeah,
like a long,
yeah.
long time ago.
I'm very, very blessed to have him on my side in my corner and as a brother and like he's part of the family, right? So I'm very,
Yeah.
very blessed. And yeah, and he married my best friend, so that's another kicker. So
He married your best friend? Yeah?
yeah, he's married to Amanda. Amanda's my best friend there,
Oh,
so
that's
it
great.
just all worked out, right?
Yeah, we're lucky to have you living here in Sudbury. Like it's
Oh, thanks,
I
man.
feel that way about a lot of people because everybody's so amazing. Like,
Thank
you
you so
know?
much.
So what's Two Hearts One Highway?
That's a song that myself, Natalie Crispo, and Jordan Lalonde
Hmm.
wrote. I had a concept idea about the Two Hearts One Highway, and we sat here one day and we just started putting some stuff down on paper and came up with the melody. And Jordan alone, he's another just amazing, amazing artist as Natalie is. like you said, there's so much talent in this town, and they're just amazing. And as much as I love singing, I love to hear someone who can sing. And they're both
Yeah.
just amazing people. And same with Renee Frappier. I sing with her, and her and I have "Who Am I?" Her and I wrote that song and made a music video on YouTube to it. So you can check those. I got a couple of music videos on YouTube with Nat and I, myself, with Renee. So on top of doing the things, we're doing music videos on top of it all too. So, and I'm working with Digital Caviar that does all my stuff for video. If you ever need a video, go see him, Eric. He's amazing. Him
Uh,
and his girlfriend
is that
Britt.
local here?
Yep, they're
Okay.
local.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's an amazing, amazing videographer.
So when you say like you're co-writing, I've uh I might have done some of that before, but like how does that work? Like you write a line each or you talk about it?
You know what? We just sit in a room. We grab a guitar.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll come up with the beat on the guitar, or Jordan will, or Nat will, or Carrie will, or we'll just come up with the beat, and then we just start throwing things out. I like to come up with the concept first. So to me, like if you have the
Yeah.
title, some people like to write the chorus first, or vice versa. They each have their own way of doing it, but
Yeah.
me, it's the title, and then that gives me the idea, and then I like wordplay and the psychology behind words, and but we just pretty much, it's like a writer circle. Just sit in a circle. We come to my house, we sit in the living room. I put something on for supper. It's slowly cooking, have a couple drinks, whatever.
Hmm.
And we just come up with ideas, brainstorm, and throw this on a piece of paper. And before you know it, what he wrote on his paper, what I wrote on mine, well, that belongs in the chorus together. Like sometimes it
Uh,
just falls into place. It's a pretty amazing thing. And it's like we've come here and we've written two songs in the matter of an hour. And then we go to write another song and it takes 4 or 5 days to finish it. Or I have some that I've had in my book for probably 6 months that are three-quarters finished, but just that something missing and I'm not done with it yet, right?
so you had the title to Two Hearts One Highway. Love that title. You had that before you even started writing the
Yeah,
song.
well, I had a few months ago. I thought of Two Hearts, One Highway, and I was telling Jordan and Nat about it, and they
Yeah.
came up with some ideas. I came up with some ideas, and yeah,
So that's like two people going in the same direction in life kind of thing.
that's right. It's just two people pretty much living an hour and a half, 2 hours apart, and they're young couple trying to make their move. You know what I mean? They're trying to live life and meet in the middle and build a house and a family and the white picket fence and all the things that come
Huh.
with it, right? It's
Yeah.
about never giving up that it eventually works out in the end.
Do you think there's something about being, Bonnie Raitt? I'm a big fan of hers, and she spoke about um, hitting her stride in her 40s, like later in life,
Yeah,
because she always played music,
yeah,
but she didn't like break through until she was late 40. Like, you
yeah.
know,
I believe that. I believe that the universe takes care of you, and when your time is right, the universe will give you what you can handle. 'Cause sometimes, if you were to get discovered tomorrow and you have a lot of things going on in the backdrop in your life and you can't make that move, I had
mm,
an opportunity when I was 16 years old to go to Nashville. I'd won a competition down there and won a recording contract with Capitol Records, and I came back, and my mother got terminally ill with cancer. So I made the decision to stay back and be with my mom because I was the biggest mama's boy you'll ever meet. And so I made a decision to stay back with her. And then by the time I was 18, she went into remission. So I called back to Nashville and I was 2 weeks on heading out again to go and fulfill that contract. And my mother started having headaches before, like 3 or 4 days before I was leaving for Nashville. And we went and checked them out, and she still had those headaches the next day. Went to Ottawa, and then they told her she had three brain tumors. So I made the decision again to stay back and just put it on halt. And I was playing 5 nights a week in my hometown in Cornwall. So I was still getting it out of my system. And to me, family's first. And if you don't got family, you don't got nothing. So I made the decision to stay back. And then during the time of my mom being sick, I ended up having my first daughter. And then my mother ended up passing on my daughter's first birthday.
oh my God, I'm
So
sorry to hear
I made
that.
it. Thank you. So I feel like my mother has gone into my daughter because my daughter is a spitting image on the looks, the height, the smile, the attitude, the laugh, the just everything. Just it's my mother, right? So I'm blessed to kind of have my daughter and have my mom still in my life because I see my mom and my daughter every time I see her, and every time we're in the same room together. So um, yeah. So That's it.
So what about this song called Dear Alcohol? What's that
Dear
about?
alcohol, I've gone through some moments of my life, and I've made mistakes like everyone else, and made questionable choices, and always tried to be the best version of myself I could be. But sometimes you get in a loop where playing in the bars for 32 years, having drinks every Friday, every Saturday. I've never been like full out drunk every night. Like anytime you come to see me, I'm never like that. But it's just sometimes it consumes. And me being in that bar life for 32 years, I've witnessed that life with other people in front of me, right? You see the same people coming in every weekend, and they're
Yeah.
leaving where they're stumbling and they're falling, and I just said to myself, like, it's amazing how much it can control you. And Jordan and I actually wrote a song called Broken Hearts Rehab, and I'm going to release that at the end of August when it's Mental Awareness and Addictions Month. It's pretty much a story about the family left behind after you overdose or you have an addiction of alcohol or drugs or fentanyl or whatever your fix is, and you overdose on it. There's families left behind, and there's no rehab for a broken heart, right?
Mm,
So we
yeah.
pretty much wrote a song about the aspect of people left behind and their story, what they're facing while you're gone. So it's just your alcohol is a symbol of that, I guess, too. It's just knowing that sometimes you got to fight your demons and know that you got to put the bottle down, right? It's just part of my life in a song.
Hmm. Sounds like you have a lot of integrity as a writer,
Thank you.
and that is a good thing, especially these days. Always, but you know. Hmm. This is a really great article that they did about you here. There's a lot of
Thank you.
information in there. And
Yeah, I was really blown away when I read it. I was like, that was amazing. Like I said, I reached out to him and I thanked him, and I told him, I said, you know what, you actually brought me to tears yesterday when I read that in the morning there. I actually came to tears, and he brought back a lot of memories of my mom and my past and my dad and his band, and just reading it from somebody else's perspective is it's a really beautiful thing.
so you mentioned being from Cornwall,
Cornwall, Ontario. Yep.
and that's down south, I would imagine.
Yeah, it's in between Ottawa and Montreal.
Okay,
Yeah,
right,
it's about
right.
an hour past Ottawa. It's
What
right
did
on the
you,
border of the St. Lawrence River and Messina. And New York City is only like 3 hours away from Cornwall.
so that's where you learned guitar and everything out there?
Yeah, yeah, that was my hometown. When my mom was sick, like I was mentioning, she had 6 months to live, and we had a lot of talks in between those 6 months about life. And she made me promise I would take care of my father when she passed. So that's the story of how I ended up in Sudbury, because my father went through a rough patch about a year after she had passed, and made the decision to move to Sudbury to get away from all the things that reminded, in a respectful way, the things that reminded him of my mom. Because going around that corner, visiting that store, or seeing the friends that you hung out with, he just needed a change of atmosphere to deal with his what he was going through. So he moved here, and I packed up the family, and on a promise I made to my mom, I relocated to Sudbury to watch over my dad, and that was 24 years ago.
So you were in your 20s when you came here?
Yeah, yeah. I had just turned. I was turning 23. I moved in down here in September, and I turned 23 that December.
Hmm. Wow.
Yeah.
Who are some of your musical influences?
My father would be my number one. Um, and then everybody, like, I like old country, so I like the Merle Haggards, and I like the Johnny Cashes, and I also like the Tim McGraws and the Garth Brooks and George Strait, and Diamond Rio is one of my favorite bands. Alabama. That's all the music that
Hmm.
I heard growing up when I was a kid. So I love every genre of music. I love all kinds of different music, but my roots are country. And my dad would be my number one. And he comes from a big family too. My father has 22 brothers and sisters, and they all play.
22.
Yeah, and they all play music. They all play instruments. They sing. I come from a very, very musical family. All my cousins, my nieces, nephews, like it's crazy. We have a massive, massive family.
That's bigger than I've ever heard of.
Yeah, my grandmother had 25 pregnancies. She miscarried three
What?
and gave birth to 22 kids.
She must be a reincarnated rabbit.
Oh, she was in an orphan. She was in she was in an orphanage, and my grandfather was a master mason. and he actually was doing the brickwork on, and that's where he met my grandmother at the window, outside the window where he was doing the brickwork, and they fell in love. And he wasn't of age to adopt her. And he said, when I turn my birthday next year, well, I'm going to come back and get you, and I'm going to adopt you
Hmm.
and get you out of this place if you're still here. Like they fell in love while he was working for that 6, 7 months. And sure enough, a year later, he went back there, adopted her to get her out of the orphanage, had a wedding dress in the car, drove to the church, and they were married for 50 some years.
Wow,
Yeah,
that is
this
amazing.
should be a movie. My grandfather used to
Yeah.
say, like 22 kids. He's like, I woke up at 5 o'clock. It was too early to go to work or too late to go back to bed.
So if you were had the opportunity to go like on tour, would you do it?
I would. I'm at that point in my life that I know my kids are fine and they're flying right now in their life. And I got 3 grandkids, and all of my kids are stable, have great jobs and good heads on their shoulders. And I know that they would be okay if I was gone now. My
Yeah.
dad duty's not done, but I still have that urge and that fire in me to get to the stage. My 6-year-old dream when I was sitting in the living room with my dad and I tugged his arm said, I'm going to be on the Grand Ole Opry stage one day, Dad. And
Mm.
my dream came true 2 weeks ago when I got a notification that Dear Alcohol is up for Social Impact Song of the Year on November 2nd at the Grand Ole Opry.
Is it the one in Canada or
No, no, in Nashville at
you're
the Grand Ole
kidding?
Opry. Yeah.
Wow.
Dear
That is
Alcohol's Dear Alcohol's up for Social Impact Song of the Year at the Grand Ole Opry. Like I'll be sitting beside Lori Morgan, Tiffany, Travis Tritt, all these big names are all going to be there. Like this is the Grand Ole
wow.
Opry, right?
That is
So
extraordinary.
yeah, and then
Good for you.
Two Hearts, One Highway is up for Songwriter Achievement Award the night before in Nashville at the Bel Air Mansion. So
Hmm.
I got to go to both award shows on the first and the second. So I'm pretty blessed and pretty humbled by that. And I that's my 6-year-old dream coming true right there.
This is divine, dude. Like this is your time to shine. Like you waited all your life for this.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, I could feel it. It's a divine thing that's happening, and you
I
deserve it.
appreciate that a lot.
Yeah. Well, you got all of Sudbury behind you, because I mean, there's a lot of talent that's come out, but I don't know about at that level. Like that's pretty. It's getting pretty high level there. That's awesome,
Thank you.
especially in country music too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love it. I'm putting it out there. I'm going to open with Jelly Roll or Morgan Wall or something in the next year.
So
I'm
here's
going to manifest that, right? I'm going to keep every day
yeah.
writing that on my wall and looking on the fridge. And yeah,
So here's the daily segment. I just noticed the time there. So this is a question
yep.
I ask every day, every guest.
Okay.
What is one thing that you feel would make Sudbury greater?
One thing that I feel that would make Sudbury greater. Hmm. That's a loaded question.
That's what Lisa Jones said.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
loaded question. One thing that would make Sudbury greater, honestly, to me, is helping the downtown homeless and the crisis that we have right now in our city. Something has to be done about that. There's got to be some kind of help to get them off the streets. And I know that life is hard right now, but I don't think that we're doing everything that we can do. And I try to go downtown and do our parts, and you see them standing on the corner and you give them $5 and hope that they do the right thing with it. Like I just last week was standing outside of Kentucky Fried Chicken going in to get my salad for my supper, and there was a guy there that asked me if I can buy him 2 pieces of chicken. He wasn't asking for money, he wasn't asking for a handout. It's just like, could I get 2 pieces of chicken? I'm really hungry. So I brought him inside and I bought him a meal. And he sat down and he was so thankful and said, go ahead and get yourself a meal, like get a drink and all that stuff. And I just feel like there's a lot more that we can do because we never know. Like we should take things and be blessed and for where we are, because you never know. Tomorrow's a whole different day. That could be us one day, and it just breaks my heart when I go downtown. So I don't feel like Sudbury is doing everything it can do to help that situation.
Well, good answer. Sudbury interviews everyone, and I want to thank you for your time and your story. This is a great interview.
Thank you
I,
so
I
so much
love
for
it.
having me,
Yeah.
Danny.
It's my pleasure, my friend, and we'll get you back if you ever want to down the road. Tell us about your journey down in the States and everything else you're doing.
Oh, I appreciate that, and hopefully one day we'll cross paths and we can rock on the stage together.
Yeah, just don't ask me to sing karaoke because I'm so
I
bad.
won't. I won't ask you to sing karaoke. You don't ask me to play guitar.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay,
Well,
thanks a lot, Danny. You have a great night.
yeah, take care, brother. Bye.
Okay, thanks.